My motorcycle is my best friend. It is my life. I must master it as I must master my life.
Without me, my motorcycle is useless. Without my motorcycle, I am useless.
I must ride my motorcycle true. I must corner faster and brake later than my rivals who are trying to beat me.
I must cross the finish line before they do. I will.
My motorcycle and myself know that what counts is not the overtakes we make, the smoke from our tyres, or the noise from our exhaust.
We know that it is the wins that count. We will win.
Before you, I swear this creed.
My motorcycle and myself
are the defenders of our honour.
We are the masters of our destiny.
We are the saviours of my life.
So be it until victory is ours.
So just as the rifleman's creed is the creed by which all sharpshooters live by, so our Superbike creed is the creed by which all Superbike stars and potential BSB champions live by. Hello, welcome. We're back here at Brands Hatch for this, the first race in a triple header in the final showdown of 2012. Here's how this afternoon's fun and games lines up at 4 o'clock. It's the first race of this triple header then, the MCE BSB Race 1, 20 to 5. We're underway with the Motorpoint British Supersport Championship Sprint Race. If you've been with us for any of the sprint races throughout the year, you know just how much fun they are. And at 5:15, we continue our live coverage with the Eastern Airways British Sidecar second race of the day. You saw the three-wheelers earlier on. Good fun those guys are. They will wrap up our live coverage this afternoon. Right, here are the standings then going into this final round of the MCE British Superbikes. Shane Burnett is who leads, 608 points. He has 5 wins in the bag. He is 9 points ahead of Josh Brooks, the Aussie on the Tyco Suzuki. Alex Lowe's, Team WFR Honda, really the sensation of the showdown. He is in third on 584. 566 points to Tommy Hill on the Swan Yamaha. The defending champion really does need a mistake by the top 3 to hold on to the crown for another year. Michael Laverty, disappointing. He'll say that himself about his performance so far on the Samsung Honda in the showdown part of this championship. And Tommy Bridewell carrying a really nasty finger injury. After a crash yesterday, he sees out the top 6. Well, we are here at the end of Brands Hatch pit lane. We're not far from the start of the first MCE British Superbike race. I'm delighted to say James Whittam has just stepped out of the commentary booth to be alongside me here. And let's talk about Alex Lowe's, because the kid has found pole position. That's every showdown race so far. He is in pole and he is flying.
Absolutely flying. He's found a bit of confidence. He can push the limit without crashing. That was a problem before. It's not now. And yeah, he's expecting to be there.
He crashed this morning, didn't seem to faze him too much by that. Just a slow tip-off. Just talk us through it.
No, it was quite a quick tip-off. Going into Druids, the bike hit the foam fence, went over almost into the crowd enclosure, but it's totally undamaged, actually. Not much more than new fairing required. He's not phased at all. You expect that sort of thing in practice sometimes. No, he's on fire at the minute, is Alex.
Confidence is definitely high for Alex Lowe's, a rider whose confidence perhaps is slightly dented. He's the man who's qualified in 7th place. He's the defending champion. He is Tommy Hill, and he is struggling.
Tommy, you went into the showdown sector of the championship with, I think, a 13-14 point lead from your podium credits. How things can change. You got your work cut out now.
Yeah, I've not made it easy for myself. I mean, a bit peed off, I suppose, me and the team. I mean, being the sort of rider that's got the most points throughout the season, won the most races, most pole positions and bits and pieces like that, but it's totally irrelevant now. You sign up for the championship and these are the rules, but fortunately for us this year, the rules haven't worked out for me. Even the current person that's leading the championship don't agree with the rules, but at the end of the day, it puts a spectacle on, and they say this is the entertainment business, but I've sort of fell short of it a little bit. Frustrated more than anything. I'm riding hard I've ever rode, and the team can see that, and they're putting a lot of effort in as well, but it's quite good that me and my teammate are suffering the same things, but I'm quite a few places ahead of him. So
7th on the grid, you've won from there a lot of times before. You're not phased, are you?
No, that's all. I mean, it's not going to be easy, and reality is it's going to be tough to try and win this championship. I wanted to come here and try and relive what I did last year. It was an emotional win and a dream come true, really. And unfortunately for me, I've got my work cut out, as you just said. So it's going to be a bit difficult. It's starting to get a bit darker out there as well. So just to try and spice it up a little bit, it started to rain.
Tommy, it ain't over yet, mate. Good luck.
Ain't over until you start singing.
I'm not singing.
Oh, I don't know, it's not a bad singer when you get him going. 42 points behind Shane Byrne is Tommy Hill. Here's the grid as we go into this one. Alex Lowes is on pole, then Shane Byrne is in second. James Westman, 5 performance for third. Barry Burrell, brilliant on the Bill-based BMW, he is in fourth. Fifth is Laverty. Josh Brooks could only manage sixth in qualifying. Tommy Hill, seventh, as we said. Carl Harris, Quattro Plank, Kawasaki is in eighth. Then Hickman, Easton, Muff and Rutter, they are the third row. Fourth row of the grid is headed by Tommy Bridewell, 13th place with that finger injury. Then John Kirkham, Jakob Schmers and Danny Buchan, they see out the top 16. Well, really, Tommy Hill, it all happened, it all started to go downhill for him, really, at Assen. Yep. Just explain to people who are perhaps joining us for the first time what happened there. The
first round of the showdown set to the championship, Tommy Hill was coming back after the sighting lap, not the warm-up lap, the sighting lap where they all assemble on the grid. He clipped a mechanic who was crossing to his man on the back row of the grid, Tommy trying to make it to the front row of the grid. That touched the front brake lever, that flipped him off, broke part of the frame that held the footrest on, missed race 1 and was penalised for having the tyre 1 was on too long in race 2, and now he's on the back foot and he has been all the showdown sector.
Was that it for his championship, do you think, looking back on it now?
I think he'll look back in the months to come if he doesn't win the championship, which is going to be an uphill task for him, and I think he will see Assen as the one that cost him the championship.
Yeah, the moment where it goes away from him. Alex Lowes, talk about swings from one extreme to the other. Alex Lowes, as we said, on pole position here. Silverstone a couple of weeks ago went out, bagged the double with some audacious moves on championship leader Shane Byrne.
Audacious, possibly not the word Shane Byrne would have used at the time, but yeah, this is the move on the last lap. He sat Shane Byrne up, and Shane Byrne's not shy. You know, this was a move on one of the most experienced men in the championship, a lad that's won it twice, and Alex just shoved him out of the way. And after it, you know, the brilliant thing was Shane Byrne says, yeah, I didn't think I'd left him room, you know, he came through, fair play to him. Shane's he's good that way, but Alex is on fire.
And Shane is no mug, as you said. He's a bit tough when he's in a scrap, isn't he? Another rider who's very tough is Josh Brooks. And here, if we look at the history books at Brands Hatch, Brooks can blow a little hot and a little cold.
Not so much little hot and little cold. He's always quick. He'll always have a push.
In terms of results, though?
Yeah, because if he doesn't win, he goes down the road, that's why. Yeah. But this year, he made the same moves, he's having a go, he's pushing on, but he hasn't been crashing. And I don't think we're going to see him, I hope not. I know he's going to have a go at the championship, he's second in it now. Brooks, you can never ever rule out, because he's prepared to push 110% all the time and do whatever it takes. And he'll take the consequences on the chin if it goes wrong. And that's why I like the way he rides, and that's why he's going to be good to watch today and tomorrow. Going
to be thrilling, even though he wasn't that impressed with his performance in qualifying. But Shane Byrne, second. We talked a lot about him at Brands Hatch. In reality, he's ridden here no more than anybody else, but he feels a certain affinity to this place.
Yeah, he actually says he's had some of his best moments here, but he's also had some sort of tragedies here. What I just remember from last year is the fact that while we were watching Hill and Hopkins battling for the championship, that was actually second in the race. Meanwhile, that man there, Shane Byrne, had won the race and he's back in his motorhome having a nice sweet cup of tea.
He was getting the championship cake on nice and early, wasn't he? Now, the last 4 races here on the GP circuit, Shane Byrne has won all 4.
Yes.
So confidence is very high indeed.
Yeah, confidence is high. However, pressure is high as well. I've just chatted with him 10 minutes ago and he's kind of feeling it. He knows what he's got to do, knows he can't make a mistake. Alex Lowes, on the other hand, knows he's got to win all 3 and he's relying on other people making a mistake, and sometimes that's just easier, knowing what you've got to do. Pull the pin and go.
Going to be a fascinating race, this. It's going to be a great way to start the final round of the 2012 MCE British Superbike Championship. That man there, Shane Byrne, he leads the championship. He's second on the grid. He's just clearing out before things get underway. We're going for a short break, but when we come back, we'll bring you all the action from the first MCE BSB race here from Brands Hatch. See you back here in 2. Well, welcome back to Brands Hatch. What about that for an imposing picture? You couldn't make this script up as the storm clouds move in above us here at Brands Hatch. We may get some rain in the next few minutes. If we do, the race will be stopped and they will get a wet weather practice. Obviously, we'll keep you abreast of everything that's going on weather-wise as it develops. Here are the championship standings, so you understand the gaps. 9 points between Byrne and Brooks, 24 between Lowes and Brooks. If the points difference between Tommy Hill and Shane Byrne is 9 points, then Tommy Hill's defence of his title is over. All to play for. This is going to be an astonishing race. James Whittam has made his way back over to the commentary booth, so let's get on with this. The first MCE BSB race from the final round of the 2012 Championship.
Beneath lowering skies then, here at Brands Hatch, and already Alex Lowes holding up his hand there at the front of the bunch on the warm-up lap, as if to say, watch the weather, guys, what's happening out the back there.
Yeah, don't forget, Jack, just like Tony touched on, if it does rain, they have had no proper wet practice. That, in the regulations, cannot happen. They can't race having had no wet practice throughout the weekend, so they must have, I think they go for an 8-minute wet practice before they would restart the race if it does rain.
The standings with 3 races left in the MCE British Superbikes Championship in association with Pirelli. Shaky Byrne leads it by just 9 tantalising points from Josh Brooks. Alex Lowes running third, and the man very much in form, ahead of Tommy Hill, the defending champion, Michael Laverty and Tommy Bridewell. James Westmoreland is in 7th place, leading the race of the best of the rest, ahead of Norrie Hager, Ian Lowry and Chris Walker on the Primo Bournemouth Kawasaki. 11th place for Stuart Easton, ahead of John Kirkham, Alistair Seeley, Lucas Scasser 14th, and the rest: Gowland, Rutter, Moff, Borrell, Hickman and Linfoot. The starting grid is not quite what we might have expected. Yes, Alex Lowes is on pole position, and yes, Shaky Byrne second, but what about James Westmoreland with that last dash into 3rd place, and Barry Borrell consistently quick on the build-based BMW. Second row headed by championship challengers Michael Laverty, Josh Brooks and Tommy Hill. Josh very happy with that position. Carl Harris, the surprise man, on row 2. Peter Hickman heads up row 3 for build base, ahead of Stuart Easton, Patrick Muff and Michael Rutter, and then it's Tommy Bridewell back on row 4 with John Kirkham, Jakob Smertz and Danny Buchan. This is it, the first of 3 races at Brands Hatch to decide the British champion of 2012. It's Even Stevens off the start. Oh, and Shaky Byrne gets a roaring start. Barry Borrell gets sucked back into the pack on the build-based bike as they drop down through Paddock Hill Bend, up Haywood Hill. Already, Alex Lowes is the challenger as they dart into Druids, with Michael Laverty running in 3rd place. Tommy Hill running about 6th on that distinctively coloured Yamaha, and Josh Brooks running deep and wide into Graham Hill Bend.
Westmoreland well placed in 4th there to help his teammate number 22 Alex Lowes there if it comes to it.
5th place for Easton, 6 Brooks, 7 Hill, 8 Rutter, 9 for Carl Harris as they dodge their way over the top of the hill out of Surtees. All 32 riders safely through, plunge downhill through Pilgrim's Drop and head round the right-hander at Hawthorne, still cracking on at 100 miles an hour through there. Oh, what a big moment there for, I think, Stuart Easton, number 3. That sat him up on the exit to Hawthorne's. It may have allowed Josh Brooks through.
I think he has just sneaked through, Jack.
And as they go through Dingledell, swoop around. Look at Michael Laverty talking confidently on the grid just before this race about having the setup to run the whole of race distance. There's Josh Brooks. He's into 4th place. He's got ground to make up now as they head down towards Clearways and complete the first lap.
As Josh Brooks second in the championship, and he's still a little bit more than this. It's early days, but he needs to be right up there with Shane Byrne. And Shane Byrne's gone. He's got about half a second here.
Crossing the line, at the completion of lap 1, it's Byrne, Lowes, Laverty, Brooks, Easton, Hill are the top 6, ahead of Westmoreland, Rutter, Patrick Muff making a good start. Alex Lowes really pressing on in 2nd place.
He looks like he's pressing on, doesn't he, as well? His style just says, I'm pressing on. He does.
And this is despite Kurt Gibbons, his personal trainer, was having some really thorough words with him in the garage just before they went out for the warm-up lap here. And I just had to find out what he'd been saying. And it's mainly about, we have fun in the gym, we have fun when we're training, we've got to relax.
Hang on.
Don't rush it, take your time.
Fun out training with Kurt Gibbons? I don't think so.
As they head round once again towards Hawthorne's, and look at that, the gap has opened up back to Laverty, and Josh Brooks is right on the back wheel of that blue Samsung Honda now, number 7.
I think that's because Alex Lowes has just raised the pace a bit and seen Shane Byrne getting away, and he's actually bridged the gap now. Shane Byrne had almost half a second after 1 lap, and it's less than that now back to Alex Lowes.
It's been fascinating visiting the various garages, the amount of oops-a-daisy. Josh Brooks right on the rim of the track and Sheen curve.
The rim.
And even Shaky Byrne was looking fairly intense before this race, and it takes a lot to get the intensity into that man, usually so outward relaxed. And Hector Neal, I said, Hector, I've never seen you looking so fraught. And he said, it's tension, man. It's tension, my boy, tension.
Hector loves it though.
He does. And there's his man, Josh Brooks, challenging for third place. Brooks, he knows that he's got to try and get the better of that man, number 67, Shaky Byrne. Not to mention, of course, Alex Lowe's fastest lap then. Brooks, 126. And that's been a big fall. That's a Bill-based BMW that's gone down, I think. And
let's have a look. Yeah, it's Hickman.
It's Peter Hickman who's gone down, the tall Lincolnshireman, qualified. Oh, and a problem for Danny Buchan.
He's been off track, I think, in that incident.
Danny Buchan's run off track on the MSS Batham's Kawasaki. Meanwhile, at the front, look at this. We've got this train of 4 riders with Stuart Easton and Tommy Hill rounding out that top 6. Tommy Hill, whose teammate Norrie Harger has been very much off colour during the last 2 rounds.
This is a Hickman incident. That's a bike. Oh. That's not going to... Yep.
Ouch.
Maybe not that bad. Not as bad as I thought. He's hit the tyres with its tyres.
Wow. What a dramatic slow-motion destruction job there.
They'll get that fixed.
So the front 6 now have just got another gap on Westmoreland. Laverty chops through.
Yeah.
Wow. That took Alex Lowe's by surprise. Now he's got to regroup.
Danger Man here, you know.
Alex Lowe's comes back straight away.
And he has to do. Danger Man here in this pack is definitely Brooks. You can just tell when Brooks starts to get impatient, and he is.
Josh Brooks then running in 4th place. The Australian number 2 tries to scythe his way underneath. Michael Laverty just has to drop back. Stuart Easton looking stronger than he's looked all season. Number 3 running in 5th place. And looks keen to help out his team leader there, Shaky Byrne at the front. Hill running in 6th place, not able to make any advance on these guys at the moment. Michael Laverty, fastest lap of his race, 127.2 on that lap.
Yeah, I would say you're dead right about Hill. You know, he's right on the back of the pack, doing the same times, but not able. He just doesn't look like he's going to get into that group, does he?
Fascinating talking to his team manager, Gary Eckerald, about the loss of momentum in the team over the last couple of rounds, James. It's almost a psychological thing. You can almost it's a combination of small things,
and you can feel it in the garage. You know that it's a palpable kind of feeling.
It's both sides. Last year we had Michael Laverty on the other side of the garage. He was pushing for race wins himself. There was a whole momentum going with the team that we've just lost in the last couple of rounds.
Bike racing's all in the mind, you know, Jack.
And here they are, into Stirlings, these 6 riders forming this 12-wheeler. It's all in the mind of Shaky Byrne, Alex Lowe's, Michael Laverty, Josh Brooks as they come through clearways into the Clark curve. 18-lap race, remember, we've got on here. It's a long one.
And again, Barry Burrell down in 8th, off the back of this pack. He's actually at the back of the next pack, but lapping every bit as quick as anybody else up front of the race. Unreal.
And there he was, just looking for a way under James Westmoreland at that point as they dropped down Paddock Hill Bend.
That's Harris.
Barry Burrell's team said we haven't put kangaroo juice in this time, so we're hoping we can get it off the line cleanly.
Yep, we just saw Carl Harris on the Primo Bournemouth Kawasaki going underneath Rutter.
We've got a faller. And that could be one of the supersonic BMWs that's gone down. It might be Patrick Moff as they come once again over the top of the hill out of Surtees, and once again absolutely evenly matched this lot. Cheek by jowl, but Shaky Byrne at the moment comfortably leading the way, and Josh Brooks so fast there through Pilgrim's Drop. Oh, and it's a good another. Now Paddock Hill Bend, James, there were problems. We had an extended lunch interval. And it's Luke Quigley on the GB Moto Honda who's gone down. Luke will be developing a dislike of this place. He crashed heavily at Westfield last time we were here. But there was and look, Josh Brooks, while we've been away, has lost out to Stuart Easton. The Australians made a mistake, and Stuart Easton is suddenly on the case, running in 4th place.
Yeah, Stuart's quick, you know. You don't forget Stuart Easton, but you forget just how good of a rider he is when things are going his way. He's been injured most of this season.
Yep. And he's probably just about sneaking back to full fitness. Look at that. Shaky Byrne, 126.95, his fastest lap of the race as we watch Tommy Hill go inside Josh Brooks.
And Easton got wide as well. Easton went really wide at that point.
So Josh Brooks, is he in trouble with the Taiko Suzuki? He's slipped back now to 6th place, and he's dropped right off the pace of the leaders here. That lap of Josh's was a 1:27.9.
I don't know whether this is a little bit of nerves, you know, coming out in Josh Brooks. He definitely a different kind of demeanour about him in the paddock. He looks nervous, a little bit pale maybe, and really focused, but kind of edgy, you know. It's not like him.
Meantime, Shaky Byrne has opened up a lead of half a second here as he drops into Hawthorns once again.
And Alex Lowes cannot afford this. Alex Lowes needs to win this race if he's going to win the championship. He can't afford to sit there in 3rd, and he knows it as well. Here we go. And we're going to see...
This is Easton.
No, this is Laverty on the inside of Lowes.
Number 67, Shaky Byrne. Number 7, the blue Samsung Honda there of Michael Laverty in 2nd place. Right behind him, that distinctive, almost fluorescent pink magenta helmet of this man, number 22, Alex Lowes, who once again sticks straight back past Michael Laverty, wastes no time and drives out of the Clark curve.
I tell you what, Alex Lowes is lovely there. It's really late into clearways, but it doesn't. Normally that pushes you wide as you drop off there. It's like dropping off a cliff there, and you just haven't got the grip to keep it on line. But he has. That shows a real lot of confidence, especially in the front there.
And he's got immense confidence when he hits the hollow after Paddock Hill Bend. Drives up Halewood Hill. Michael Laverty a little bit wide. Beautiful form there from Alex Lowes.
Yeah, it was.
Josh Brooks regrouping in 6th place, but it could already be too late because we're on the 7th lap of 18.
He's got work to do.
There's Stuart Easton. Remarkable to see the tiny man from Hawick back running at the front like this so confidently with these guys.
Clean and nice style as that man there, number 3 on the Kawasaki, Stuart Easton. Just a really nice, kind of relaxed but kind of classic style on a bike. When things are going well for him, he's really, really quick, is Stuart. We've known that for years.
Stuart Easton, a race winner here, of course, in his British Supersport days, on his way to the British Supersport Championship in 2002 and again in 2005. Both times riding on that 748 Ducati. His teammate, meantime, Shaky Byrne, trying to edge away at the front, and the gap has definitely opened up in the middle of this group. And Stuart Easton getting away and sealing that 4th place, and it's now Brooks versus Hill for 5th place. And Barry Burrell's come... and James Westman and Barry Burrell have closed the gap behind them, and I think it's Burrell who's got the better of Westmoreland now.
Oh, it definitely is. That's the man there with the fluorescent kind of yellowish helmet on there, back of the shop.
That helmet is Barry's own design, and it's actually based on his crew chief, Lee Jackson. Lee Bob Jackson's uncle Lee's original helmet design when he was National Superstock champion.
Is it? Well, if you're going to go for copying an helmet, you might as well copy for one that's of somebody that's really famous, might you? You know.
Number 22, Alex Lowes, running strongly in 2nd place, 1:26.317. He was the fastest man on track and the whole race on the last lap. So Alex Lowes now is beginning to reel in Shaky Byrne. Number 7, Michael Laverty still running 3rd, and then the Easton Hill Brooks trio.
Yeah, and the only surprising thing for me about Alex Lowes is the fact he's taking sort of 6, 7, 8 laps to get going, because he knows what he needs to do, and there's nobody out there more capable and prepared to do what it takes.
On the 8th lap of 18 here, as we watch Shaky Byrne soar up the hill to Sheen Curve.
Yeah, one of the only bits of track anywhere in the world they've changed for the better over the last few years. Normally they put a rubbish chicane in that ruins the whole nature of the track. Actually there at Sheens and Dingle Dell used to be a little chicane there to sort of flick right then left then right again. Now it's just a beautiful...
I used to love that chicane. It looked magnificent on television.
Yeah, well, on a bike it's definitely better now. I'll tell you, it's faster and you won't want it to go wrong there, but it's definitely better.
And as we stand at the moment, Tommy Hill, the defending champion in 5th place, would not still be in championship contention, because we'd have Shaky Byrne there ahead quite handsomely at the moment of Josh Brooks. Alex Lowes in 3rd place, just 5 points behind. Tommy Hill, with only 50 points to go, would actually to earn tomorrow in the 2 races, would be out of contention, and he must be feeling the pressure now, not only from Josh Brooks, but look, Barry Burrell, the 26-year-old from County Durham, has closed the gap and is right up there, joining in with the big boys on the build-based BMW.
What we've been saying, the pair of us, for the last 2 or 3 meetings, Burrell is a quick rider, and he's one of them, he's just slowly getting better. He hasn't stopped getting better ever. He's been a He just hasn't done it so quick.
He was third, of course, in the British Superbike Evo class last year. Had a double win at Thruxton, 12 rostrums altogether in that class.
Yeah, but that doesn't really count.
I know
what they're doing now.
I know, not where he's running at this point in the race.
This is proper running.
Must be because he hasn't been home for 6 weeks, he tells me. He's been living in his motorhome on Richard Cooper's Drive.
Well, I don't know what that'd do to you, but...
There's number 7, Michael Laverty, Samsung Honda, running in third place, but not, well, he is just about matching Byrne and Lowes. Across the line then, it's all absolutely level. They're on 126.8, except Michael Laverty a little bit quicker in third place, 126.6. Look at that group behind. So that is how Alex Lowes then is remaining hovering at about 5, just half a second behind. Josh Brooks looking desperately for a way past Hill, and Hill is now hounding Stuart Easton, number 3.
I'm just thinking, if Lowes can get in front of Shane Byrne and win the race, that's what, 5 points difference. That'll cut it back to just, 19 points. Yeah, he's still big ask for Lowes. He needs to win it.
And Shaky is definitely the man, absolutely and literally in the driving seat at the moment as we watch this battle going on, swooping through the magnificent right-hander at Hawthorne, along the Derek Minter straight, short and sharp, and then down Westfield. And this is a real shoot down through Dingledell.
Yeah, it's good as well as it drops away. You can feel the back end moving around a lot, and it's one of them places, if you're not that confident, it'll scare you. The barrier doesn't look that far away when you're going at sort of 130 miles an hour, but when you're really confident, it's a beautiful bit of track. It just feels really good.
That's Burrell at the back of that quartet. And Lucas Scasser's out on the Paget Honda. What a shame. The big Italian had a big off, of course, during qualifying. Incidentally, behind this lot, Westmoreland running 8th, Bridewell 9th, Patrick Muff 10th ahead of Kirkham, Harris in 12th, Norrie-Hager 13th ahead of Rutter, Mark Aitchison, the last point scorer, just ahead of his teammate Jakob Smerts, riding for the Split Lap Redmond Aprilia team. The fastest lap classification at the moment looks like this. This would be the starting order for the first race tomorrow. Lowes, Laverty, Byrne and Burrell on the front row. Brooks and Stuart Easton with Tommy Hill and James Westmoreland on the second row. Oh, look at Tommy Hill's bike rippling away over, really struggling across the bumps on the entrance to Surtees. That cost him time. And Stuart Easton escaped a bit at that juncture. And have we got the on?
Was that Laverty?
That was Michael Laverty.
He was.
I think that was Michael Laverty dropping right back almost into the clutches of... And Michael Laverty...
Where's he gone?
So before Surtees, there appears to have been a problem for Samsung Honda's Michael Laverty. At the moment now, it's Byrne and Lowes at the front, and then that man, Stuart Easton, number 3, running in third.
Yeah, he's off. Behind Burrell is Laverty. In fact, behind Westmoreland, I think.
Yeah, Westmoreland's there as well. So as they now drive on up to Clearways, it's Shaky Byrne leading the way. This group of riders fighting now over third place. But the crucial factor is that this man who turned 36 yesterday, Shaky Byrne, could this be the sweetest late birthday present you could imagine as Tommy Hill once again tries to find a way past the immaculate Stuart Easton. But one thing Stuart Easton can do, he can hold a line. He is so poised at the front of a group like this. Just as I say that, he almost backs in. That was a bit of backing in by Easton. You don't often see that, James.
No, you don't. But he still made the apex, a really late apex. That straightened the exit out. You know, he's a tidy rider that doesn't make many mistakes, isn't Stuart? And they're always difficult to get past when they're going as quick as he is.
Yeah. So Shaky Byrne, look at this. Tommy Hill is just about back in the mix now, running in 4th place. He could do with making it a bit more than that.
It's not enough. Championship-wise, not enough.
2/3 race distance. Shaky Byrne with that advantage. Pulled out 1.2 seconds on Alex Lowes in 2nd place. This is the battle for 3rd. Once again, dropping downhill at Westfield. Josh Brooks, you can't help feeling would go quicker if he could actually find a way through, but the same applies to Tommy Hill there, trying to push away past Stuart Easton.
I don't think it is, you know, he's trying to push away past, but I don't think he could go considerably quicker than Stuart's going, otherwise he'd have been past him by now.
That's a very methodical piece of thinking, James. Yes, I'll take that on board.
I know it sounded like I was stating the blooming obvious there, but I don't.
You were, but it's true.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I don't think there's much wrong with Stuart Easton's pace. He's tried several times. He hasn't got past him yet. That might
Finally,
work.
Tommy Hill makes
wide.
it
He's gone wide.
Oh, struggling to pull it back. Just
wide
about get through. Now Stuart has a look up the inside as they go up Hailwood Hill into Druids.
Got to slot in. Yeah, Stuart slots in behind him. He realised he wasn't going to get back up the inside of Tommy into Druids.
And Burrell running absolutely the pace of these guys, and so too is James Westmoreland as Josh Brooks slips through now into 4th place. He can't allow Tommy Hill to get away with that. He's got to go after the Kentishman. Is there such a word? Tommy Hill then.
Careful what you say.
He's actually from Surrey, I beg his pardon. Byrne, Lowe's. And it's now Tommy Hill in 3rd place, 4th place for Josh Brooks. And 5th place Stuart Easton with Barry Burrell for company in 6th. Bridewell running strongly despite that finger injury in 8th place. Patrick Muff, his teammate, also going well in 9th. Sean Kirkham, Samsung Honda in 10th. And we seem to have low Michael Laverty running in 12th place behind Norrie Harger. So as we dive through Stirling's Bend now, Tommy Hill in that 3rd place. Josh Brooks on the Tyco Suzuki, so intent to find a way past. There's number 1 Hill, number 2 Brooks.
So that would mean 12 points. That would mean 21 points. Brooks would be behind Shane Byrne if they finish the way they are, and it would mean that Alex Lowe's would be 30 points behind. Am I right? No? 29 points behind Shane Byrne.
I wouldn't have a clue. I'm just leaving the maths entirely up to you, my boy.
I wouldn't.
And now look at this. James Westmoreland suddenly making a strong move. He slipped underneath Barry Burrell. Westmoreland did a 126.8 on the last lap, and the only men going faster on that lap were Shaky Byrne and Alex Lowe's at the front.
Laverty, Laverty's he's back into 26. Has been down in 12th. I don't know what happened to Michael Laverty.
Now this battle getting really intense for these important points as Alex Lowe's begins to regroup and try and edge back on Shaky Byrne. This battle for 3rd place, this is so crucial, James. It's only worth 3 points, but 3 points could make all the difference in the world for these fellas.
Well, no, actually, not that much difference. I mean, Brooks needs it, but it needs to be beat. They all need to be beating Shane Byrne. Shane Byrne out the front, it doesn't really matter. Scrapping for the blooming chap.
It's a good way of putting it.
What?
And there we have it, look, 633 for Byrne. Brooks would be 21 points behind. That's really a massive gap, isn't it? And Alex Lowe's on 604 would be just 8 points behind that man on the Tyco Suzuki. So if they're feeling the tension out on track, what about him? Look at this, once again, a couple of tenths faster. Alex Lowe's on lap 13 as is this rain? Barry Burrell put his hand up there. What's he indicating? He was looking forward to the potential for rain.
That's what I would think. We'll watch everybody else see. I think that's what he was trying to say. He was doing it in the right place.
Suddenly it looks very hazy out there. A brave Josh Brooks barges his way inside Tommy Hill, down the hill from Druids into Graham Hill Bend. Front wheel pawing the air as Tommy Hill marches back to in front of him as they launch themselves to Surtees. It's looking very, very dark out there.
It is, and I'm sure Barry Burrell was seeing spots of rain. I think that's what he was trying to say. I think
there's definitely rain out there.
Yep. This is scary.
Oh, steady boys, and Shaky Byrne with Alex Lowe's catching him hand over fist now. Tommy Hill picks it up as they come launching out of Hawthorns, dropping downhill, and now it's heart in mouth time for these guys.
It is, because Shane Byrne doesn't know how quick to go. He doesn't want to be first on a bit of wet track and find out to his cost that he's slippy.
When you just turned 36, you're thinking like a grown-up, aren't you? And you want to be careful. Josh Brooks chucking the Tyco Suzuki sideways.
Look at that. Not thinking like that.
Meanwhile, Tommy Hill drops a leg.
Something's happened. And
Shaky Byrne puts up his hand.
Where's Alex Lowe's?
Alex Lowe's! Alex Lowe's has gone down in Clearways. Alex Lowe's has gone down in Clearways. The red flag goes out. Is it too late for Lowe's, or will it go back a lap? I don't know. Alex Lowe's goes down, and he was looking deeply unhappy about things. He was pressing pretty hard.
Shaky
Byrne.
Impossible conditions there, Jack. He was doing exactly what he needed to do. You can't blame the lad. He was taking a sort of advantage of a difficult position. I feel sorry for Alex now. It's a really difficult position to be in. You know you're going too quick, but you've got to push. Horrible.
So Alex Lowe's there looking completely dejected, and
no shame in that.
No, hurls away his ear protectors in disgust.
Yeah. He's all right, which is the main thing. We need to get a look at the bike. They've got to get that back. They've got all night to fix it, and there's no shame in what he's done there. And it doesn't look that bad. I'll tell you what, I've seen worse than that in a lot slower crashes.
In fact, it looks immaculate on
I don't
this
know what's
side.
happened there. Did he just jump off it? I need to see the other side. I mean, he's not too down hard, but we need to see what's going to go on with the points. And the main thing is he's completely uninjured. And, you know, it won't affect him because it's obviously the conditions that's brought him up and nothing else. The bike looks a bit bent on the left-hand side, I've got to say, but not so bad. They fixed that.
So Shaky Byrne leading the way handsomely. Sam Lowe's, the identical twin brother of Alex, he also doesn't look too pleased about things.
And do you know what? There's nothing Alex could have done. He wouldn't have been putting his hand up to get the race stop because he would have been trying to take advantage and get in front of Shaky. I would have done exactly the same. You've got to stick your neck out sometimes when you're in that sort of position.
So at the moment it's coming up Byrne, Hill, Brooks, Westmoreland, Easton, Burrell as the top 6. Shaky Byrne, that man, taking enormous advantage of that outcome. And that means that he, of course, will be very much the favourite for the title as we go into tomorrow's 2 races here at Brands Hatch. It's going to take a mistake from Shaky Byrne, I think, for that pattern to change. This is how it looks then. What bad luck for Alex Lowe's and WFR Honda. Shaky Byrne, Rapid Solicitors Kawasaki takes the win. Tommy Hill in 2nd place for Swan Yamaha. Josh Brooks 3rd for Taiko Suzuki. Loses 9 points to Shaky, so he'll be 18 points behind before tomorrow's 2 races. James Westmoreland on the 2nd WFR bike takes 4th ahead of Stuart Easton. A splendid ride by Barry Burrell into 6th place for BMW in the end, ahead of Tommy Bridewell, Noriyuki Haga, John Kirkham and Michael Laverty. 11th for Patrick Muff ahead of Carl Harris on the Quattro Plant Kawasaki. Michael Rutter finishes 13th. Points for the Split Lath Redmond boys. Aitchison and Smertz ahead of O'Halloran, Palmer, Laverty, Jay, Seeley and Alessandro Polita. So the championship standings, the critical championship standings in the MC British Superbike Championship look like this. Shaky Byrne on 633 points has that 18-point cushion over Taiko Suzuki's Josh Brooks. Tommy Hill on 586 points is now in 3rd place, 2 points ahead of Alex Lowe's. Michael Laverty on 565 in 5th. Tommy Bridewell on 553 in 6th. James Westmoreland handsomely leads that run for the Cup in 7th place. Norrie Haga still 8th. Ian Lowry now level with Chris Walker in 9th place on 131 points. Stuart Easton on 122 is 11th ahead of John Kirkham, Alistair Seeley, Lucas Scasser, and then Gowland, Rutter, Muff. Barry Burrell now on 60 points ahead of teammate Peter Hickman and Dan Linfoot.
Well, we are here in Parc Fermé with Shane Byrne. We'll let Shane just take his gloves off and get his helmet off before we pounce on him. But what a dramatic race for all sorts of reasons. Well, it's done with our championship lead. Shaky goes off to just have a moment with Petra, his wife. And why not? Why wouldn't you after such a great day out there? Shaky, that race had all sorts of things going on, but your performance was virtually flawless right from the start. Can you sum up what you're feeling now after the first outing in this final round?
Relief. Pure relief. I was trying to do the maths in my head to count how many laps we had to do before we could get the result stopped. It started spitting a few laps earlier, and I thought, I need to get the race stopped. But then I thought, I don't want to get it stopped until it's the result. And the last lap coming onto Clearways, it was horrible. My lap time dropped by about 2 or 3 seconds, and things just started sliding around all over the place. And I held my hand up to say stop the race, and fortunately it's been declared a result. So not that I want to take anything away from the others, but I'm pleased we got that one out of the way.
What does this mean for you for tomorrow now? Just head down and push on?
Yeah, I mean, we just need to hope that the weather's good. I mean, Rapid Solicitors Kawasaki done a great job. You know, my team have been awesome, and bike's working really, really good in the dry, and I felt really, really confident. So it was just trying to do laps that I thought would just break the boys a little bit. And I started off quite steady, and then got going a bit, and then got going a bit more, and then got a gap, and I thought, right, perfect. And then that drizzle come, and I thought, oh no! But yeah, it worked out good. So all credit to the team; they've done a great job.
It really did work out well. We can't wait to see you tomorrow. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Shane Byrne, our race winner. Let's try and grab Tommy Hill, our second place finisher. Tommy, let's quickly talk about your championship hopes, because before that race, I think it would be fair to say there were a few people who said you know it looked unlikely. Now you're right back in it.
Yeah, I mean, I go every weekend and give it my all. Nothing less. I put a lot of pressure on myself. I want to win, what rider doesn't want to win? And I wanted to come back here and relive the moments from last year. It all happened so quick last season, and I wanted to do it again. I mean, Shaky's obviously pulled the gap there, and the reality is it's going to be difficult, but I just wish I was going straight into another race now. I'm fired up and ready to rock and roll again, but I could have run with Shaky, I reckon, and Michael, and I just couldn't get past Stuart. He's a flyweight, he's like a flea on a dog's back, and I couldn't get past him down the straights, and I had to stuff him here in paddock. But yeah, pretty difficult. And then obviously the rain come down, and I put my leg out, I didn't see, and then I knew I needed to stay in front of Brooks in case they went back a lap, and Brooks would have been in front.
It looked like something clicked in that race. Was that the case? So do you feel that you understand what the Yamaha's doing around here better?
Not really. I mean, I'm just riding how I ride, and the pace wasn't too hot. I just couldn't get hold of the front back, which I wanted to do. But well done to the rest of them. Everyone's riding hard. Everyone's at the top of the game. All teams are moving forward. We're trying to move forward, and it's motorcycle race. It's tough at the top, and we're pushing hard, and I want it.
And that's why we love it, and that's why we love watching performances like that. Well done, Tommy. Our second place finisher there, and our man who bagged third place, final podium spot, is Josh Brooks. Looked like Stuart Easton held you up for a fair while, to be honest. Once you got past him, you and Tommy were able to push on.
Yeah, of course, he's in the race to get the best result he can get as well. So, no, he was riding well. He's doing good, and it took me a long time to find a way by. But I had a bit of problem, dropped back there mid-race, got a bit of the brake fade, and then adjusted it back with the lever, but I'd already lost a couple of positions with the adjuster, but I'd already lost a couple of positions. So a bit disappointed, but. And also strange situation. I would have thought that was a fourth, but the rules, sort of indicate that once Shaky had gone over the line, that declares the position. So, a bit surprised to actually be on the podium here, and but I'll take it. I would have liked it to have been the other. If it was the other way around, I would have liked it to have been gone back a lap or something like that. But anyway, that's the way it is. So I'll take it.
Changes for tomorrow. Now, have you learnt more about the Taiko Suzuki?
We're going to have to change something. I mean, we're going to make change. We always do. Every time you do a race, you learn something from it, and the data is very valuable. And the conditions of the track are always changing as the weekend goes on. So we'll look at what we can do for tomorrow to try and bridge the gap, and hopefully it's still not over.
Good luck for that. We'll see you tomorrow. Well done, Josh. Josh Brooks there, our third place finisher. Right, so much went on in that race. It's still busy down here in Parc Fermé. Whilst we clear this out, let's remind ourselves of what did just happen there with the highlights.
The first of the 3 races this weekend in the MCE Insurance British Superbike Championship, and a scalding start for Shaky Byrne off the front row of the grid. And he stamped his authority on the race right from the outset. Alex Lowe's initially pursuing him hard on the Team WFR Honda. Michael Laverty very much in the mix, and Josh Brooks pushing through ahead of Stuart Easton early on in the race. Michael Laverty, number 7, though, was determined to be front-running Honda, and he was able to cut his way through inside Alex Lowe's. Lowe's responded with typical youthful ferocity and was straight back into second place. And the two blue Hondas, really fighting it out for second place behind Shaky Byrne. The sun came out as Tommy Hill cut inside Josh Brooks. Having a little bit of brake fade on the Taiko Suzuki really cost Brooks dear mid-race. He dropped back to 6th place. And then Shaky Byrne had the advantage at the front. He pulled out quite a gap on second place man Alex Lowe's. A problem though for Michael Laverty. He ran off track crucially on the Samsung Honda, and that put pay to his chances. Tommy Hill finally got alongside an obstinate Stuart Easton and moved through into 3rd place. Josh Brooks desperately keen to follow suit. Ooh, Tommy has a big moment. Josh Brooks makes a move downhill into Graham Hill Bend, follows Tommy through, and their battle then commences for 4th place. Josh Brooks looks like he's made the move as they drop down Graham Hill Bend. but Tommy has the inside line along the Cooper Straight. He's able to retake that position despite the chatter from the front of the Yamaha. And then the rain's begun to come. It gets really lethal, coming through clearways for what turned out to be the last time. Shaky Bird puts up his hand, but Alex Lowe's behind him, pressing hard, crashes on the WFR Honda. And cruelly, the 22-year-old Lincolnshireman goes out of the race and probably out from contention for the championship. For Shaky Byrne, though, a belated, beautiful birthday present.
Well, nice to see Shaky and Alex Lowe's having a bit of a man hug there at the end of the race. This is behind the scenes here of the podium, and Shane Byrne is going out. We're going to take a short break. We must push on because when we come back, we'll bring you all the action from the British Supersport Championship race. But Shane Byrne finds the top step of the podium in this final round of the MCE BSB Championship. Didn't he come good when he needed it most? See you in 2.
My motorcycle and myself know that what counts is not the overtakes we make, the smoke from our tyres, or the noise from our exhaust.
We know that it is the wins that count. We will win.
Before you, I swear this creed. My motorcycle and myself
are the defenders of our honour.
We are the masters of our destiny.
We are the saviours of my life.
So be it until victory is ours.
So just as the rifleman's creed is the creed by which all sharpshooters live by, so our Superbike creed is the creed by which all Superbike stars and potential BSB champions live by. Hello, welcome. We're back here at Brands Hatch for this, the first race in a triple header in the final showdown of 2012. Here's how this afternoon's fun and games lines up at 4 o'clock. It's the first race of this triple header then, the MCE BSB Race 1, 20 to 5. We're underway with the Motorpoint British Supersport Championship Sprint Race. If you've been with us for any of the sprint races throughout the year, you know just how much fun they are. And at 5:15, we continue our live coverage with the Eastern Airways British Sidecar second race of the day. You saw the three-wheelers earlier on. Good fun those guys are. They will wrap up our live coverage this afternoon. Right, here are the standings then going into this final round of the MCE.
My motorcycle is my best friend. It is my life. I must master it as I must master my life.
Without me, my motorcycle is useless. Without my motorcycle, I am useless.
I must ride my motorcycle true. I must corner faster and brake later than my rivals who are trying to beat me.
I must cross the finish line before they do. I will.
He's slightly dented. He's the man who's qualified in 7th place. He's the defending champion. He is Tommy Hill, and he is struggling.
Tommy, you went into the showdown sector of the championship with, I think, a 13-14 point lead from your podium credits. How things can change. You've got your work cut out now.
Yeah, I've not made it easy for myself. I mean, a bit peed off, I suppose, me and the team. I mean, you know, being the sort of rider that's got the most points throughout the season, won the most races, most pole positions and bits and pieces like that, but it's totally irrelevant now. You know, you sign up for the championship and these are the rules, but fortunately for us this year, the rules haven't worked out for me. Even the current person that's leading the championship don't agree with the rules, but at the end of the day, it puts a spectacle on, and they say this is the entertainment business, but I've sort of fell short of it a little bit. Frustrated more than anything. You know, I'm riding hard on Ever Road, and the team can see that, and they're putting a lot of effort in as well, but it's quite good that me and my teammate are suffering the same things, but I'm quite a few places ahead of him. So
7th on the grid, you've won from there a lot of times before. You're not phased, are you?
No, that's all. I mean, like, you know, it's not going to be easy, and reality is it's going to be tough to try and win this championship. You know, I wanted to come here and try and relive what I did last year. It was an emotional win and a dream come true, really. And unfortunately for me, I've got my work cut out, as you just said. So it's going to be a bit difficult. It's starting to get a bit darker out there as well. So just to try and spice it up a little bit, it started to rain.
Tommy, it ain't over yet, mate. Good luck.
Ain't over until you start singing.
I'm not singing.
Oh, I don't know, it's not a bad singer when you get him going. 42 points behind Shane Byrne is Tommy Hill. Here's the grid as we go into this one. Alex Lowes is on pole, then Shane Byrne is in second. James Westman, fine performance for third. Barry Burrell, brilliant on the Bill-based BMW, he is in fourth. Fifth is Laverty. Josh Brooks could only manage sixth in qualifying. Tommy Hill, seventh, as we said. Carl Harris, Quattro Plank, Kawasaki is in eighth. Then Hickman, Easton, Muff and Rutter, they are the third row. Fourth row of the grid is headed by Tommy Bridewell, 13th place with that finger injury. Then John Kirkham, Jakob Schmers and Danny Buchan. They see out the top 16. Well, really, Tommy Hill, it all happened, it all started to go downhill for him, really, at Assen. Yep. Just explain to people who are perhaps joining us for the first time what happened there. The
first round of the showdown set to the championship, Tommy Hill was coming back after the sighting lap, not the warm-up lap, the sighting lap where they all assemble on the grid. He clipped a mechanic who was crossing to his man on the back row of the grid, Tommy trying to make it to the front row of the grid. That touched the front brake lever, that flipped him off, broke part of the frame that held the footrest on, missed race one and was penalised for having the tyre one was on too long in race two, and now he's on the back foot and he has been all the showdown sector.
Was that it for his championship, do you think, looking back on it now?
I think he'll look back in the months to come if he doesn't win the championship, which is going to be an uphill task for him, and I think he will see Assen as the one that cost him the championship.
Yeah, the moment where it goes away from him. Alex Lowes, talk about swings from British Superbikes. Shane Byrne it is who leads, 608 points. He has 5 wins in the bag. He is 9 points ahead of Josh Brooks, the Aussie on the Taiko Suzuki. Alex Lowes, Team WFR Honda, really the sensation of the showdown. He is in third on 584. 566 points to Tommy Hill on the Swan Yamaha. The defending champion really does need a mistake by the top 3 to hold on to the crown for another year. Michael Laverty, disappointing. He'll say that himself about his performance so far on the Samsung Honda in the showdown part of this championship. And Tommy Bridewell carrying a really nasty finger injury. After a crash yesterday, he sees out the top 6. Well, we are here at the end of Brands Hatch pit lane. We're not far from the start of the first MCE British Superbike race. I'm delighted to say James Whittam has just stepped out of the commentary booth to be alongside me here. And let's talk about Alex Lowes, because the kid has found pole position. That's every showdown race so far. He is in pole and he is flying.
Absolutely flying. He's found a bit of confidence. He can push the limit without crashing. That was a problem before. It's not now. And yeah, he's expecting to be there.
He crashed this morning, didn't seem to faze him too much by that. Just a slow tip-off. Just talk us through it.
No, it was quite a quick tip-off. Going into Druids, the bike hit the foam fence, went over almost into the crowd enclosure, but it's totally undamaged, actually. Not much more than new fairing required. He's not phased at all. You expect that sort of thing in practice sometimes. And no, he's on fire at the minute, is Alex.
Confidence is definitely high for Alex Lowes, a rider whose confidence perhaps